Hello.
Hi, just a second.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Raju, CMD of Bangalore Summer Vineyards, and I'm also part of DLC Global Spirits, Wine and Cigar Committee. You want to hop on to see our property?
Sure. Describe yourself in a hashtag.
Passionate.
What is the best part of Bangalore?
Weather.
When did you started your journey in wine industry?
2001.
What is philosophy of vineyard?
Organic, be simple, and experience silence.
How do you intend to inspire other industry leaders through your expertise?
I've learnt a lot from interacting with people and listening to them at ground level, and that's taught me a lot.
Your inspiration to venture into wine industry?
Michel Roland.
Your vision to make it a wine destination?
Wine destination, it's the picturesque property and the unpolluted serenity and also the quietness.
What according to you makes DLC a unique organization?
DLC, I think, is a platform where a lot of unique industrialists or unique business owners and uniquely talented or multitasking people under one roof. So it gives you an opportunity to exchange your ideas. It acts like a catalyst where you can pick things or learn from each other's uniqueness or ventures.
Define the founder, Mr. Jimmy Mistry, in one line.
Vivacious.
DLC aims to be a catalyst to drive people from a life of success to a life of significance. Your thoughts on this?
Significance, yes, and also it makes a difference by learning so much of information from different walks of life. You are already enriching your own business and personality. Through that, I think it does enrich a person.
One environmental cause you are really concerned about?
To keep the topsoil of all lands, preserving them and preventing erosion.
Tell one social cause that you are passionate about or want to connect yourself in future through DLC platform.
So, since I'm working with noise, I would like to be a part of helping the people who are dumb or hearing impairment. And that's the segment of people I want to work in that field. That's the social cause which I'm going to.
How has climate change impacted your approach in winemaking?
Not yet so far in our country or this part of the world, except of course it's just beginning to have too many droughts and excess rain. This is affecting to the extent vineyards are affected by that. But unlike the West, which is facing a much larger shift in their approach to things due to these same environmental factors, are much more harsher in the Western societies.
5 things to look when wine claims to be sustainable.
So sustainable, when you say if everything which you want within in the vineyard is produced, found and made with least amount of inputs from external sources, that is sustainable to me.
Do you have a favorite food and wine pairing?
Rum and red wine.
Your choice of drink, sparkling, white or red wine?
Red.
What according to you is your biggest achievement till date?
Not selling this property in spite of difficulties.
One of your favorite quote that motivates you?
Dream on and be in the present.
3 things nobody knows about you but should.
I think seriously, but I'm not a serious person. Number 1. Number 2, I'm thinking much more on the future, but never in the past. That's been my habit, and I like solitude as much as having lots of company. That's good.
What is the USP of the vineyard?
USP is its picturesqueness and the quietness, plus also awesome 360-degree views.
How far has India's wine industry come along?
It's still at its nascent stage. It's 20 years compared to centuries of international wine and viticulture. We have a lot of learning to do, especially in the winemaking and getting the quality aspect right. India is blessed with 360 degrees, 60 days of sunlight. So we have pruning, twice pruning, and one is non-productive. So that's a waste, a lot of waste of labor and also costs, which adds to our winemaking.
The first grape that got introduced to India?
Nebraska, now what we call Bangalore Blue or Bangalore Purple.
What does leadership mean in the wine industry?
Take yourself up, but also along with you, take the whole industry, wine industry along with you.
What's the best way to connect wine estates to new generation wine enthusiasts?
Get them fruit wines, a little bit of fizziness, some more funky labels, plus also connect with smaller bottles so that they can start to relate and use it, and less alcoholic to start with.
Shiraz or Sauvignon Blanc?
Shiraz.
French wine or Italian wine, which one is more better?
Italian is personal preference. French, of course, the Bordeaux region is the world's standard for some of the blended wines, which are terrific.
One must-visit winery you would recommend internationally?
Frescobaldi in Italy, and I may add La Rioja in Spain.
The last winery you visited?
In India, a small winery, Red Dot in Goa. I wanted to see what port wines and fruit wines are being made over there.
Your perfect evening idea at the winery?
One round in the vineyard, experience the silence, and then come back and sit at my favorite sunset spot and have my Shiraz.
Stunning wine destinations to visit?
Apart from Bangalore Soma Vineyards, which is one of them. If you are to go internationally, Italy is the place.
The future of wine and wellness?
Excellent scope for wine and wellness, because wellness anyway is there, and it's the most preferred beverage now, which is coming into vogue. Because yoga, wellness, and it's being a fruit-based wine, I'm sure, and if the alcoholic also being less, it's a much better beverage to go for.
What's the most magical moment at the vineyard?
Twilight time.
The most expensive wine you gifted to yourself?
Some of the Italian wines and Bordeaux wines, they always are on the top shelf.
What is your winemaking style?
Robust, artisanal, and zesty, and very, very fruity.
Who do you most admire and why?
World of wine in India, I think we must give it to Sula's CEO. He's done a lot to raise the bar in Indian winemaking.
Do you have a favorite wine or vintage that you have made?
2017.
How would you like to collaborate on DLC platform to inspire young leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals in the world of wine?
I would be a model for a small artisanal boutique winemakers, and I have learnt a lot from the viticulture part also, which I can always share with people, and that is the way I can lead. Being a permaculturist is the first permaculture vineyard I think we have here, because we have let all the weeds grow and then chop them and then use them again as fertilizer for the plants, and we largely do not use weedicide or pesticides. That's another thing. In my field, in this field, I think I can be helpful in teaching them or giving them tips to grow wines.
How to taste the wine like a pro.
If you want to know the basics of it, then I'm sure we are going to have a wine tasting session. You are welcome to join.
Tips for status-conscious wine lover.
I think we have to give up that status and snobbery if we want to grow the wine industry as such.
What is your take on millennial and wine?
Millennials of wines are all there. They're hungry to experiment now with all sorts of beverages and all sorts of combinations. If you see the growth of artisanal beers in the country now, they're coming up at every nook and corner, and Bangalore is becoming again one more capital for pubs and microbreweries. So the world is very, very open for millennials to experiment with fruit wines.
Your go-to activity to stay fit?
Personally, I believe a brisk walk, a walk in nature or your surroundings.
What do you do for your mental wellness?
Stay calm.
One person in your family that encourages you?
My wife, my daughter, and my son, in that order.
Your mantra to maintain a work-life balance?
Work-life balance, I think my wife does it much more than me. I work with because I'm passionately in love with what I do.
A message that you would like to give to our viewers?
Never stop dreaming.